Hello, 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 hello. It is Thursday, and it is the first stream for this week. And that is because I was working on a video, which took a little bit longer than I expected. So, now we're back, and we're gonna focus, this will be the only stream for this week, so let's make it a good one. And what are we gonna do today? We're gonna, first of all, of course, as always, gonna do the 30-minute quick sketch, focusing on that first. 30 minutes just creating a quick sketch. Today it will be a gorilla. Welcome back, Hustler. Hope you had a great week so far. Yeah, we're gonna do the 30-minute quick sketch first. Today it's gonna be a gorilla, and then afterwards we're gonna go into another feedback stream. We're gonna look at the submissions that have been submitted in the feedback channel on Discord. And also there's an old one that I actually, skipped. It's been there for quite a while. Don't like my pen spinning? It's just like, it's not really something crazy, it's just blasting and then like a tip on top. There's nothing really to break. Yeah, we're gonna, focus on your artwork. We're gonna give it some feedback. I've seen there have been quite a lot, ever since because we haven't really done a feedback session on Monday. There was some more time to post, so there's a little bit more. Welcome. Hold on. Oh, I can't read it again. Oh no, hold on. Look for the follow. I'll hold on. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you. Welcome. If you're here, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Let me just quickly log into my Streamlabs website. I can't use the app anymore because that would just break OBS. So now I have to revert to the to the online application. Hold on. There it is. Nope, it's not. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. No, there it is. I-aid. Let's say that. Or I-aid. Yad. However you pronounce the name. Hopefully it wasn't wrong. Thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're here, we're going to do some feedback today. So if you only want to see the feedback, there should be timestamps in the description. Yeah. And if not, wait, what? No. We're gonna give it some feedback. If you want to see the feedback, there should be some timestamps in the description. If not, then I haven't done it yet. There should be to be determined. If that's not the case, well, I've been doing this or doing other stuff with it. It flew out of my hand multiple times. I don't think it can break. There's not really anything crazy in there. There are like 2 buttons that I never use. The only thing that could maybe break would be the sensitivity on the pen, but so far everything went fine. So yeah, I trust my capabilities and the durability of this pen to not break. Okay, let's get to Blender. Also, thank you, Hustler, for your matte cap and your efforts trying to recreate the one that we saw in the one sculpting video. I've been playing around with it a little bit. I've tried the ones that you gave me. I didn't even know that it was like so easy to create one. I might maybe even make one myself, like perfect the one that you sent me. I've been putting it into Photoshop and did some what do you call it? Like some adjustments, color adjustments. Welcome, Aid. Hope you enjoy your Thursday. I'm using a Wacom Intuos, not Intuos Pro, just Wacom Intuos. Hold on. Oh, we need to fix that stripe down there. There you go. Can you see it? Oh, the cable isn't long enough. Maybe. There you go. It's quite old. I think it's like 3 years old or even more. Maybe, yeah, I think maybe 4 years. They don't sell it anymore. This one, compared to the new model, they still sell Wacom Intuos, but the new models are smaller, I think. So, or no, there are 3 sizes. I think when I bought mine, it was like small and big sizes. Now it's small, medium, and big. This one would be medium in terms of size. Yeah, I had another one before, which was way bulkier, which had like a huge frame around it. But this one has been doing the jobs ever since, I don't even know, when I started digital drawing. Yeah. Hold on, let me. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out after we're done with the quick sketch. You know, we started quite late today, so I wanna get this quick sketch done so we can get into feedback right away. Okay, so let me pull up the reference and then we can begin with this quick sketch. Hold on, there you go. That's not what I need. That is what I need. There you go. Look at him. There was another one where he was like smiling, which looked kind of wholesome, kind of cute. But then you see this and it's like completely different. This was what we're trying to go for. This sort of like open mouth, screaming expression, just to kind of make it more interesting there, rather than just making like a neutral, I guess, gorilla. I think that would make it more interesting. So we're gonna go for that, and then yeah, let's do this. 30 minutes, quick sketch. You can join as well if you want. And you can see the new mat cap. Oh, hello. I broke my circle. I mean, my sphere. That was the old one. This one, no, which one was it? This one was the old one that I used. This one's more glossy. You can see there's a little bit more of a shine in there. It has a similar color to it, but it's just a little bit more matte. You also have this sort of key light on the side, or this sort of edge light, which I kind of like. I don't really like it to be like blue. Maybe I'll change that at some point. Maybe we make our own mat cap at some point, but that is not the focus for today. The settings should be ready. Oh, dynamic topology. Okay, perfect. So let's get this done, and then we can begin with the feedback. So okay. Oh, hold on. Where's my timer? There it is. Okay. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Drop frames. Hopefully they're not going to continue. Seems like it's okay now. Yeah, let's begin. Okay. Quick sketch number, I don't even know what number it is. 193 or so. Begins in 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. Okay. So, as always, we're going to start with the general head shape. As you can see, they have like the mouth is way further forward than, for example, the nose or the eyes. So we're gonna emulate that for first. It's a little bit different compared to a human head. That's, I guess, the significance. Usually monkeys or apes, you could say, have more of a, like, the mouth is just in general a little bit more forward, further forward, let's say, rather than, and also their forehead is like way bigger. You can see it right there, how big it is, how long. So that's, I think, the most most important or biggest changes in the face when it comes to comparing it to humans. And then of course the body is, you know, not really different in musculature, but maybe in proportions. I think they have longer forearms and their hands are a little bit different. They're built so that you can like run with them rather than just picking stuff up. You know, they're like built like this rather than, you know, just like this, like how we have it. So yeah, let's put in some eye sockets. Yeah, today will be the stream, at least the quick sketch will be the stream where we test this this mat cap. We'll see how it works, or not how it works, but if it looks good. What I'm kind of looking for is a mat cap that can really highlight the shape of an object that I'm sculpting, but not distract from it, and also not just really confuse me. If you look at the other ones that are here, like this one, of course, obviously, but even stuff like, let's see, this one I don't like the color. That's basically it. I also don't like it when it's super glossy. I think that kind of, it may highlight some edges better, but I just like it more when it's a little bit subtler, a little bit more like clay. Okay. Oh, we wanted to open his mouth as well. So we need to, first of all, pull this back. And then we can grab this, pull it down. Look at him, huge chin. we may even need to pull it further down, or we just pull this up. There you go, look at him. Perfect. Yeah, definitely didn't anticipate to work on that video for, what was it, 6 days, I think? No, 5. Usually I maybe, you know, the other videos that I usually do usually take like a day or 2, but this one took way longer. But also because I wanted to do something more elaborate this time, so it took just a little bit longer. Maybe those videos should be more like a multi-week thing, so that I can like plan or have like one video that just takes, I don't know, doesn't take that long. Then I have another one that I can work on the second day, for example, that I can work on for multiple weeks, so that I can then release it at some point, which kind of goes against what I actually want to do, because usually I want to, you know, when I start working on a video, I kind of want to make it, or kind of want to finish it as fast as possible. So that doesn't mean that I rush it, but it means more that I want to work on it as long as possible until it's finished. But I guess that's just how, or that would probably be more convenient to do it that way, rather than just doing it in like skipping or canceling the stream 3 days in a row. I think it's better to do the prior. Okay, so this one looks already like a monkey, but it's not perfect. First of all, we kind of have to kind of open his mouth a little bit more, so we can kind of open and expose his teeth a little bit more. You can see how he kind of does the same that dogs also do, where they sort of show their teeth to kind of make them look more aggressive. There you go. Right now he doesn't really have any teeth, so let's give him at least some gum right there. Yeah. This video will be probably a little bit different compared to the other ones. I have 2 right now. Well, yeah, let's say 2. Let's say 3. No, let's say 2. I have 2, I guess, types of videos that I want to do. It's either basically like educational, or something you can learn from, or some, you know, just talking about maybe different processes, different whatever, just so, you know, get value out of knowing more afterwards. Or it should be either inspirational or informative. Sounds weird. I guess you could say inspirational, in the sense that either people see it and want to do the same. Yeah, basically. Or not the same really, but more. Hold on, 23 minutes, okay. That they are, you know, it's similar to like a, I guess, inspirational video, you could say. You show what you did, and then so that others kind of maybe get to see what you did and maybe want to do the same. Not only is it supposed to be catered to people that know 3D, but also catered to people that don't know 3D, so that they maybe be more inclined to learn it themselves. Yeah, that's usually the videos that I do, but in some occasions I kind of want to do like more highly edited videos as well. I've been mostly doing like stream edits, I guess, so far, but this one I wanted to do something more elaborate. And it's also not about, like, it's not a topic that I've streamed, so I can't really, you know, just edit it together. Or I could probably just edit it together, but I wanted to make it more than that. Okay, let's give him some more structure in his face now. So first of all, we're going to give him a cheekbone, which should be right here. We're also going to remove some volume here, just to kind of give him a more bony structure. There you go. Also, we probably need to enhance, let's say, his forehead. You can see he has quite a noticeable forehead. It even goes over the eye. Let's give him some more here. He also looks angry, so we need some more over here. There you go. Look at him. Looks way angry now. Okay, hold on. Is the music too loud? No, it shouldn't be. Okay, perfect. Okay, there you go. Okay, I think it's going in the right direction. We just need to do some more adjustments here. First of all, we're gonna need to adjust the overall shape a little bit more, and then we can go into some more detail work. I also want to give him his neck, of course. There you go. Okay. The problem is, I like to keep the content on both channels kind of separate. What I mean is that I would rather have, like, the plan is to have the full process on the live channel, and then you can have the more edited, compact version, bite size, I like to call it, version on the video channel. This way, you know, it's just more approachable and more, it's easier to watch rather than having like for example, the Loki video, the last one that I did was, I think, like, I don't even know how long it was, maybe an hour, 30 minutes, which I think can still be, you know, valuable, but I think I want to have more videos that are more bite-sized on the video channel rather than like the full process. I'm still gonna upload those when it's like a unique topic, for example, but not with everything that we do here on the live channel. So for example, for the feedback, what I probably plan on doing is something more like trying to find a, I guess, main topic, and then it's kind of hard to explain. Let me just focus on this real quick. Yeah, that was the plan. The live channel is like, the idea is basically, you know, if I look, or if I think of somebody that just browses YouTube, maybe likes Blender, hey, how to do this and that. Oh, cool. I want to know how to do this and that. Watches the video. Oh, nice. I would have liked to know how he actually did exactly this thing. How did he sculpt the nose there? Well, you can go to the live channel and either join live or just watch the old VOD to see how I did it. And then, da-da-da, you have both. Okay. The neck looks too small. Okay, hold on. I want to focus on the forehead first. First, one thing that I kind of want to see here. So they have kind of like a more, it kind of gets flatter first, and then it gets like higher again, like this. And then we have a forehead. I think it's also different for males compared to females. Yeah, they have more like a round head. They have more like a pointy head in the back. So we can probably pull it forward a little bit, pull it a little bit forward as well, like this. It's probably also too round, is it? A little bit. You can see that the eyes are smaller. So I'm going to pull it a little bit more into the middle. More like humans, you could say. There you go. Yeah, something like, well, for example, the last one was probably a good example where we talked about fundamentals of the face, or, you know, sculpting different things like wings and whatnot. One thing you could do is like, oh, well, 5 things to make your sculpting, I don't know, to make sculpting easier, or, you know, just kind of generalizing it and then taking excerpts from the video or from the stream and make it a more compact and more focused video rather than, well, we look at all your, you know, things and we cover 10 million topics. I think if you focus on one topic and make a video out of that, it's better. Welcome, David Parkin. Hope you have enjoyed your Thursday. Look at this beautiful gorilla. I was just dreading to look at the time because I didn't really know how long we still have. Okay. There you go. Okay. Let's kind of go more in this direction now. We can see we still have a lot to do. First things first, what I want to do is I want to give him actual eyes. So we're going to go in here and give him eyes. So what I like to do now is I kind of start by giving this sort of these swimming goggles, you could say, or diving goggles. And then I kind of carve into them to create the actual eyes. It might be quite difficult with like such a low resolution, but it could still work. Let's see. Look at him. He could probably be even angrier, but we can kind of highlight or kind of work on that some more later. Let's first finish his head. You can see how deep and how small his eyes are. So that's what I kind of want to capture here right now. Make the eyes quite small, and then maybe, oh, this will be hard. Maybe like this. We can't even pull it out again because there is no geometry. Well, let's see. We can at least, you know, give him some more of an angrier look. There you go. Yeah, let's see. The anatomy video, you mean the one for the face? Yeah. And that was really cool. Yeah, I mean, thank you. My pleasure. Or do you mean the skull? Both, you know, we've done two. Yeah, I'm glad it helped, or it was at least interesting. If you've seen the open anatomy models, what do you mean? Open anatomy models? Do you mean where you can like remove parts, like an actual model that you can buy, like the one that I have here? Hold on, like an Ecochet, or something different, maybe like a digital version. That's at least the plan that we have for the what we started, at least, you know, the last skull, what was it, anatomy stream is the first of many, hopefully, where we create our own 3D digital Ecochet with all the layers, fat, skin, fat, muscle, and bones, hopefully. New site, open anatomy. Oh, never heard of it. Oh, we need to check that out. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna hopefully think about once we're done, and then we can look at it. We Hustler posted one before. I can't remember what it's called. I think it was like it only showcased the head. I mean, only, you know, it's still good. But of course, you know, they tease you with a gradient down into transparency, so they kind of tell you, well, there could be more, there could be like the full body, but there's nothing. Yeah, we might have to check that out after the quick sketch. So one thing that I definitely see with this, so I think the biggest difference to the one that I actually wanted in terms of the matte cab and the one that we have here is probably the light. You can see the light, the blue light, always on the right side. The problem is you can also see it in the mouth, which I don't really like that much. The one that we looked at, the matte cab, has a light coming from the front, and they also, I think, use subsurface scattering, which I think can really make something look more like a, you know, like skin, which is what I usually, you know, scope.
Hast du noch Geschirr?
There you go. It has Blender models with a really high level of detail. Oh, cool. We might have to check that out. Oh no, drop frames. Why do you do this? I might have to hold on. We have 12 minutes. Okay. Time's been going quite slow in my opinion. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Hold on, let me just quickly change the the output settings here, so maybe the stream is a little bit less laggy. There you go. Okay. Wait, where am I? There you go. Okay. High level. Yeah, we need to check that out afterwards. Okay. This is definitely going in the right direction. The only thing that we still need to adjust is probably the eyes, and then also I think we probably also need to pull everything further back. You can see how they kind of the upper mouth part is quite close to the eyes, so we can probably pull them a little bit closer together like this, crunch them together more. Yeah. Welcome back, Yanis. I mean, I didn't expect you to finish the spaceship, but did you at least attempt another, or did you try to do the clock shader? Welcome back. Hope you've enjoyed your time, your Thursday, and everything. Hope you've spent your time wisely. Okay, so let's see. I think what looks kind of weird right now is that everything down here or everything in here looks kind of like it's part of the eye. So we can kind of have to make it more distinct that this is the only part of the eye. I guess by, oh, we use a like a ball in the end anyway. So we're gonna just go in here and carve it out a little bit so we can put the eye in later, like that. Might be too big, but who cares? Who cares? There you go. Just to kind of separate it from the eye. I think that's better. Hope you what did you finish the energy, or what was it? The not nuclear, but like the power chamber? Or you said you're working on a short? Like a YouTube short? Or like a short film, I guess? Nice, that's nice. One thing is missing. Oh, the core. The crewmates. We had a post just recently in the Discord about or Lego robot posted his spaceship, which looked really cool. I think his one's smaller, but he also made a bigger one for like a small animation, or a short animation rather, which looked really good. Okay, let's give him some teeth, otherwise he just looks kind of old. We also need to give him fur at some point. We have 8 minutes left, so we can have to hurry now. Give him some teeth. Hold on. I guess we can just go in here and do this. Full strength ahead. There you go. Oh, okay. At the airfield. Are you working at an airfield? Is that what you're hinting at here? Oh, that's quite big. Hold on. That's way too long. We probably also need to pull them a little bit further to the side. There you go. Okay. We need some teeth in the middle. Oh, wait. You're flying right now? Are you the passenger or the pilot? I mean, I can imagine if you do like a 10-hour flight, you know, you have some time to do whatever. Okay. Yeah, that would be kind of weird, you know. But I can see it, you know, watching streams or videos while you're just, you know, on what was it? Autopilot. If that, you know, if that's how I imagine it. Okay. There you go. We need teeth. Oh, those are quite long. There you go. Okay. So once we have the teeth, we can focus on the fur a little bit more. So that's good. Okay. Let's focus on the fur. Oh, first of all, before we do that, I want to give him these nice folds or wrinkles here. Otherwise, it just kind of looks kind of relaxed. And I kind of want to give him really this feeling of crunching together the skin right here. Like this. It's not really that visible, but I think that's okay. There you go. A discus BWL. Okay. Is it a huge spaceship? A huge plane? Are you the one that's flying with what's his name? Dude, I can't think anymore. The Jeff Bezos, are you the one flying with him to the space station? Was it the space station, or are they just doing like a short trip in and out? There you go. Okay, we need some hair. Let's give him some hair now. I don't want to increase the, what is it, the resolution. I kind of want to keep this low resolution just so we don't fall into the trap of trying to detail everything. So yeah, let's just stay here. Give him his nice hairline here, which goes quite far forward. There you go. Even the females have beards. Maybe. Doing a quick trip. Okay. Let's see. So far, I think the madcap feels similar to the other one. I kind of like that this one is more rough, so you don't really have this very, very glossy shine on it. I kind of like that more, that it's more, you know, rough, as I said before. I think what we need to change though is the light coming from the side. That's just too much. I think I want to have it in the front. If you have it in the front, you kind of, I think, can focus more on what's in front of you, and you don't really need to. You're not getting distracted by some sort of light coming from the side. I think it's a good idea if you're trying to look at a finished piece, but especially if you're, for example, working on stuff like this, where they have like an open mouth. It just looks kind of weird when there's like a light in the middle, or, you know, in the center. Maybe that's just me, but that's just kind of distracting. So I think it would be better if you had like going, you know, the further back it goes, it gets darker, and in the front it's pretty bright. I think that would be the best one. And then maybe adding some subsurface scattering as well. Okay, that's why I grabbed the side view so we can see his neck. His neck is quite straight, at least in the one who is running. That's not usually their posture, but, you know, we can maybe go for that. I use a modified version of the last one that you sent. I've tried all of them. I don't really like the white ones. I think they look too white. I kind of want to have something more, you know, brownish skin colorish, or white skin colorish, because then you see the shadows better. They're not too strong, and overall just it looks more like clay, I guess. Clay is, I think, like more red, but I kind of like this sort of beige color. And then I modified it a little bit. I added some contrast. I also made it a little bit brighter. And then I just added some redness to the shadows to kind of imitate some subsurface scattering, which doesn't really look that great, but, you know, better than nothing. There you go. But I think to really get to where I wanted to get to, we need to make our own. But maybe, you know, there are probably like tons and tons of madcaps that we can look at. There's probably one that could fit quite well to the one that I'm looking for, but I think it's easier to create create our own one, especially because it's like that easy to do. You just, you know, grab a sphere and then create a shader for your model, and then you just, at least that's how I think works. Because then you just render it as a JPEG or some sort of image, and then you upload it to your preference like tab, and then you can just use it, which seems pretty simple. So, you know, maybe we might have to do that at some point. Okay, 1 minute 13, almost there. What I like to do is really just kind of maximize the look of the first resolution. Trying to even give it some detail without having to, without being able to utilize a lot of geometry. Just kind of trying to work with what you have and just, you know, working with every single vertice that you have here. There you go. Okay, we can probably also pull this higher so it kind of looks more like it's, you know, he shows his teeth a little bit more. The teeth look very rough just because we don't have that much resolution, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Perfect. We have 7 seconds left, so why don't we stop right here? Maybe we can add these sort of muscles here on the side. There you go, okay. There's still probably a lot we could do, but you know, that's all we have. Okay. We didn't even save once. Oh no. We were embracing destruction, but it luckily didn't happen. Okay. It is quick sketch day 193. Perfect. Okay, let's do some quick renders. I also want to remove his lower body, or his, you know, end. Make it cleaner. There you go. Perfect. Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? He kind of looks more like some sort of dude in a suit maybe, but he kind of reminds me of the gorilla from SpongeBob. I don't know why. This, like the scuffed gorilla suit. Okay, let's finish this. Let's give him some eyes and then we can render him, at least for the first time. Not mask, mirror. There you go. I'm probably not gonna be streaming on Monday, another skip stream, just because we're gonna go. I'm not gonna be here over the weekend, so I'm probably I'm gonna come back on Monday, and I don't think I'll be back early enough to do a stream. But that's not set in stone. Maybe if I'm early, you know, if I'm back early enough, then I'll definitely do one. But depends on, you know, when we come back. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't look perfectly like a gorilla, but you know, let's leave it there. Let's do the render. Let's do a quick render here. What do we have? Okay. We're gonna place it on the side slightly, maybe lower so it kind of looks more intimidating. Give me a second. I need to bring back my my dishes to so they can be washed. Give me a sec. Okay. Yeah, James, I'm sorry. So I was scared. I knew you would get. Oh, I knew you'd come. Okay. Yep. We're back. Let's finish this. Welcome, James. Hope you enjoyed your week so far. Let's finish this, and then we can go into today's topic. Feedback. Oh, before we do that though, we're gonna check out a few links. You know, the anatomy sources, and also the aircraft that Giannis is apparently gonna fly, or maybe he already flew. Okay, let's do the 50% first. 50%. There you go. Okay. Post-production. There it is. Glare. We don't see it. Hold on. We're gonna bring it in later so we can actually see the difference. There you go. I'm still looking for a shortcut that can switch to the render result like tab. If you're in the render result, you have multiple slots where you can switch between by pressing 1, 2, 3, and 4 and whatnot. But you can't switch to the render result tab once, or if you just, you know, switch to the, what is it, image editor window. You can only do it once you kind of select it from the list. I want to be more efficient, okay? Okay, no more stalling. Let's do it. Oh, we need some lights, of course. Hold on. I forgot. You know, 3 days of streaming let me completely forget everything that we've done here. Okay, there you go. Now we can actually finish the render. Okay, first of all, the light in the front. Oh. Today might be the day with the most submissions. I think we have like 7? No, not 7. Like 6, I think. Of course, not from 6 people, but still. So this will be probably a more broad. I'm probably not going to go into as much detail as I did for maybe the first 2. I'm probably going to focus on, you know, the biggest things, you could say. Okay. Dude, let me do my quirks, okay? I still want to press file and then save. That just makes it... I can, you know, at least this way I can make sure that it actually saves. I know it says like, yeah, it's saved down there as well, but, you know, leave me alone, okay? Okay. Wait, but how do you use the mirror? Isn't it... So I always, like, used a shortcut for the mirror, or at least I did it in, like, an older version. Is there a shortcut for it? I know that there's a shortcut for subdivision surface. I don't know if there's one for the mirror. Okay. Is it still on? Oh, it is. Easy. My mirror shortcut still works. Okay. Well, I made... maybe I should use that as some more. Okay. Let's give him some eyes and like an actual material, and then we can finish this. Okay. The problem is with dynamic topology, I could use a shortcut. The problem is even if I do that, I still have to go into the settings and change them. So why not just go into dynamic topology and click it, and then immediately having my mouse on dynamic topology and all the settings, rather than pressing, what is it, like shift and whatever to enable it, and then having to go down there and doing all the settings. Wouldn't it be easier to just click on it, then immediately be where you need to be? Okay. There you go. Or is there a shortcut for switching to constant detail and then switching to 20 resolution? If so, then please tell me. Or maybe even a macro. I know that you can't just leave them on or leave it on. Maybe there's a setting that you can say or enable that leaves dynamic topology on, which would be pretty bad because then it would kind of ruin retopologized models if you just forget it. Okay, there you go. Every time I say no stalling, I stall even more. Okay. Yeah, he looks more like a monkey rather than a gorilla. Okay. Well, that's just how it is sometimes. The problem is, because I'm not here over the weekend, I can't do a quick sketch. I know that there are some sculpting apps. I might try those out. I also thought about just, you know, drawing instead of sculpting or doing stuff on my phone. So I need to figure out something. Okay, hold on. We need to render. There you go. Control R. Okay. Hold on. Sculpting. Wasn't that the trick that you taught me before? Yeah, well, that didn't really help me if it retopologizes my model. Or do you mean before you start? Okay. Hold on. Let's okay. Let's focus real quick. Ta-da. Put that in there. What do we have here? Threshold of 2. Medium. Nope. High. Nope, not high. That's still too much. I don't want to have a scuffed a scuffed solution, okay? I don't want to rely on glitches for it to work. I want to have a reliable solution. And trying to rely on a glitch doesn't really work, or it doesn't really help me. Okay. You know, I could also press F12 to render the image, which is actually what I do sometimes. But right there, I wanted to trigger you, but not on purpose. You know, sometimes that's just something you want to do. Maybe you realize, well, I didn't want to do it, but at least it triggered you, so it was still worth it. Well, yeah. quick switch to Twitch. I mean, the problem is if you every time you retopologize, first of all, the more resolution you have, the longer it's going to take. Maybe it's not even going to work at all, or if you retopologize, you lose details, which is you know, quite bad if you want to, you know, keep the structure, but just, you know, maybe even add more to it. So yeah, it's not gonna my life is not gonna rely on me pressing Control R before I enable it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Almost there. Oh, hold on. Let's drink some water. Well, the problem is, well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. We can try that shortly after we're done. Yeah. I mean, that could be a good solution when you're doing more like long-term renders, because then you don't really get the message all the time. Maybe we could even create a retopologized sphere and use that in the, what is it, like the startup file, so that we don't have to enable dynamic topology again. It's just enabled from the beginning because it's retopologized, maybe. Okay. Quick sketch date 193. Okay. It doesn't really increases that dynamic what geometry, but it changes it. I think it has a 3D grid or some sort of 3D shape where it like checks. Okay, well they have like a grid, and then with every line, if it hits the geometry, that's where the voxel is. And if you have the grid being too big, then you might miss like an edge, for example, or a I don't know why I did this. A like a spike, you could say. Which you can, you know, you would either have to increase the grid size, or you would have to, you know, just not do it. Okay. Yeah, exactly. First, retopologize, then enable dynamic topology and mirror, and then use that as the startup file. That could be a good, that could work. Okay. Let's go to Photoshop and finish this. Hold on. Where's my image? Hold on. There it is. Okay. I think I should never say let's focus, because then it just takes longer for me to get into focus again. To focus. Okay. Contrast. More. How about that? There you go. Selective color correction. Make his eyes a little bit darker. See how more menacing he looks now. Ooh. Okay. There you go. Okay. I need my texture. Hold on. Textures. What do I need? Oh, fingerprints. Okay, there it is. That's what I've, that's what I've tried to do. Try to set my blend file so that what I usually do is the standard, and then, yeah, try to, you know, optimize the startup file as much as possible. But of course, there's still stuff you can do. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong file. Folder. There you go. I'm out of it. I'm sorry. I need to get back in the groove. You know, sometimes, usually I immediately know where I need to go, because I, you know the order of things, what we do when. But right now I forgot. Okay. So now that that's done, let's open up a new file, and then we can begin with today's topic. But before we do that, we have two things to check out. First of all, the anatomy references, and then also the aircraft from Yanis. But before we do that, I'm gonna upload this image. So give me 3 minutes. I will give you 3 minutes of insane compilations that will blow your mind that you've never seen before, if you're here for the first time at least. And then afterwards we're gonna go into feedback. We're gonna give some feedback. We have 6 or 7 pieces that we're gonna look at today. And yeah, that's gonna be today's topic. So I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna 3 you in C minutes, and then we're gonna continue. Oh, your file as well. Okay, then we might have 8 or 7. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes, and then we're gonna begin. Enjoy. Ta-da! And we're back. Okay. Let's begin by looking at the resources. Okay. So first of all, what was it called? It was somewhere in the beginning. There it is. Open Anatomy. Okay. What was it? Blender Community? Blender Nation. Okay, hold on. Blender Nation. Open Anatomy. Open source anatomy. Oh, okay. An effort. Hold on. There you go. An effort to collect and optimize different open source resource anatomy resources has resulted in the first release of Z Anatomy, a free and open source anatomy project. It comes with custom Blender key bindings to assist navigation. Oh, okay. Several very interesting models of human anatomy are available on the web for several years. A Japanese team called Body Parts 3D created several years ago hundreds of OBJ files. Oh. Hold on. Is there anything to be looked at here? I guess a brief history and description of the project. This project belongs to everyone. All contributions are welcome, and I would be glad to explain the choices that I made to organize the file. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. The new. Oh, okay. The new open source 3D Atlas. Okay. Okay, gallery. Let's look at the gallery. Hello. Video. Oh, okay. Well, we have a skeleton. We have a muscle structure. We have the veins or the blood, whatever, not blood vessels. I think that's what instead of the veins, right? We have the organs. We have the organs in themselves. Oh, hold on. Maybe we can look at this. Let's see. Let's see how far we can go. Okay. We have some bones here. That's nice. Seems to be very... Oh, this looks interesting. Seems to be very, very detailed. Looks pretty good. I'm probably going to look at that. Let me just quickly save that. And then I'm going to look at it later. In the... off stream. I don't want to look at it right now because that's not the focus for today. I think I'm gonna check it out off stream, and then we can maybe look at it later on stream again. I don't want to mess with it currently. Oh, dude, hold on. There you go. Let's put it into an here. Okay. There you go. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna check that out probably at some point. Thank you for the suggestion. Looks very, very good. Yeah, thank you. Okay, stop. Okay, what was the other one? Yeah, that's why I said, how far can we go without, what was it? Without, having to stop. Okay. Hold on, let me actually see. I want to check something, but before we do that, I want to go to the other one that we had to check out here. What was it called? Discus BWL. Okay. Discus B. Oh, hello. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's smaller than I anticipated. But is it? Hold on. Is that for tricks? Or what is it used for? Hold on. Nope. Can we have like Wikipedia on this? 18 meters. So 6 meters on each side. No, less. Maybe 5? No, probably like 5.5. Because there's like a meter in the middle. Okay. So let's see. Standard class glider. Oh, okay. Design and development, competition use. Standard class sailplane. Oh, okay, hold on. Sailplane racing. Sailplane Grand Prix. Okay. Hold on, the music is too scary. There you go. Oh, okay. I would guess you would start off of launching off of a mountain. So you would just let it go, like roll, and then at some point it just catches air and lifts up. Oh, okay. Oh wow, those are some big wings. How would you land that? Are there any? It doesn't seem like there are any like wheels. Do you just hope? Okay. Those are some nice planes there. Nice, that's nice. Okay. Can you do loopings with them? I guess you could, because they're not really You know, if they're fast enough, it should work. Maybe not like the twist. Oh, well, twister should work as well. Yeah, oh yeah, so you'd either, I guess, let them gain speed or momentum by pulling them, or tow plane. Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. You know, it must be super chill flying those. Not in terms of, you know, you having to not do anything, but more because there's no motor, it seems like. So you don't have any, you know, loud noises. You just have the wind coming or whizzing by. You know, similar to like an electric car, maybe. I would imagine, at least. Okay. What are they doing? Oh, oh, see? Oh, they even... Hold on. Okay. Interesting. He even goes further. He's flexing on them. Wow. Yeah, I mean... Well, I guess... It's crazy that you can get that high with just the momentum that you have. Or how long you can fly. Look how fast they are, just looking at the ground. And then he's landing. Is he? Yeah, he is. Thermals. This one, oh, you mean with is that propulsion, so that they can get even faster? Oh wow, that's quite light. Oh, there's the wheel. But how do they... Oh, I guess there's one more in the back. Someone got paid for making the map. There's actually like a program that you can use to... Or there's a program that you can buy that you can use like Google Maps. You can select a frame and then you can extract a height map out of that map, which is pretty cool. So you can like one-to-one replicate some sort of structure, for example. Up to 300 kp. What is that? On a few models. Hold on. Kp per hour. What? Wow. Wait, what? Why kp? Kilometers per hour. But that would be kph and not kp/h. Maybe I'm just dumb. Okay. Wouldn't that be kh? Kilometers per hour? No. Okay, well, maybe I'm just dumb. Okay. Let's get to today's topic. I wanna start quite, you know, now, just so we don't have enough, or hopefully we then have enough time to get through all of them. So let's go to Blender. We're gonna start with Blender, just because I think Blender is more stable when it comes to doing adjustments, or at least how do you call it? Like, I guess doing nodes, adding nodes to the image. Photoshop tends to break. That's why I don't want to use Blender. I mean Photoshop. Okay, yeah. Have fun, Yanis. You too. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for enlightening us to what you do. I guess in your free time, maybe not. Maybe as a professional, that would be pretty cool. Flying these gliders sounds pretty cool. Okay, let's begin. Oh, hold on. Before we start though, let's begin with by adding the last few. There it is. Okay, let me just download this one real quick and then we can begin. Yep, I trust the source. I'm sorry. Oh, 2? No, okay. MS Paint. I don't even know if I have MS Paint on here. Hold on. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Material. There you go. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. You're the only one that is submitting blend files. I thought about making that easier, not having to rely or having to look up some sort of like way to store and distribute your 3D models. But I thought about maybe like posting a link to my Google Drive folder in the Discord, where you can just upload your pieces and then I would just delete them once the feedback session is over. That could be like a way to do it, so that more people maybe feel inclined to upload their models. Okay, but that's a topic for another day. Let's begin by opening the first one. Hold on, there it is. Okay, we're gonna begin with, wait, which one? Oh, we're gonna begin with a piece that has been in the feedback session, in the feedback channel for quite a while. I apparently just I just skipped it. I forgot about it, I guess. I didn't forget about it. I just completely, I guess I forgot about it. It is from Zachary. It is a likeness sculpt. Hold on. There you go. First of all, I think you at least captured his likeness, you know? It might not be super detailed, but at least you captured his likeness, in my opinion at least. We might have to check or look at the original. I don't know what his name is of this actor, but I can at least see who it's supposed to be. Let me just quickly look up who, what his name is, so we can have the reference here as well. And then we can go into some feedback. Wait, where is it? It's so far up. When was it? It was in last month. It's almost a month ago that he uploaded the piece. Okay. Substance Painter. Yeah. I heard there's some sort of new deal with Substance Painter. Maybe I'll check that out at some point. It seems to be way more efficient when it comes to texture painting. So maybe if we do some more elaborate texture painting, maybe we could use Substance Painter instead of Blender. Okay. Oh, hold on. Who was the actor? Pierce Brosnan, exactly. Hold on. There you go. Yeah, that's the problem. You need, like, for texturing, you have a program. For sculpting, you have a program. Maybe even for UV unwrapping, if you want, you have a program. For simulations, you have a program. Well, yeah, physics simulations. For clothing, you have a program. Even those, if they would only cost 20, whatever, euros or dollars a month, you would have $100 a month just to pay for those, which is always annoying, you know? Okay, there it is. Let me just quickly download this image as well, and then we can look at it. Oh, this one's probably the best one. This one might even be the one that you grabbed. Hold on, I forgot to... Wait, where is it? Did I... Oh, there it is. I misclicked. Hold on, there you go. Okay. Let me open up the image real quick. There it is. Look at him. What are you doing? Why would you do this? Why would you betray my trust? Unbelievable. No, okay, you know, I would ban you, but I'm gonna, I guess, I'm gonna let you go once, okay? Oh yeah, there's one thing that I wanted to check real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna stall once more. I'm sorry. I wanted to see if I can fix the YouTube chat. For that, I might have to do like a YouTube settings change. Let me just quickly see if I can do that. Hold on. Clown to clown communication. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, where's... Oh, there it is. No. Where's my live stream? There it is. Hold on. What? No. I don't need you right now. Hold on. Yeah, save it. So... Wait. Connection is bad? What do you mean? Hold on. Please, let me just change the settings. Why do you always bring me back to some other thing? Oh my god. No. There you go. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't change it. But it's on low latency. You can't tell me that low latency means a minute of, like a delay. Well, okay. I guess that just, it just has to be that way then. Well, I'm sorry. Okay, nope, it's not gonna crash. I'm a professional, okay? Okay, let's get back to it. There you go, okay. Okay. I think... Okay, let's begin. I'm thinking about splitting them up into next week just because today is kind of scuffed and I kind of want to have it like neatly packed into like a one session rather than like, oh well, let me just go for 5 minutes and then, you know, coming back. But at least we can do a few, you know. Okay. We're not gonna delay for 3 days again, okay? That was an exception. Okay. Let's start again. Okay. Okay. So the first submission that we had that has been there for almost a month was this one. From Zach. He submitted a likeness sculpt of a Pierce Brosnan. You can see him here. I think he was also an actor for, what is it, James Bond? First of all, I think you've captured the likeness. That is the, of course, most important part of capturing creating a likeness sculpt, capturing the likeness. Of course, there are varying degrees of capturing the likeness. For example, the first and most important, you know, aspect would be the first, I guess, resolution, I like to call it. The first resolution needs to look like Pierce Brosnan. Otherwise, it's not going to look like Pierce Brosnan in the end. So the first one you need to nail is basically the likeness in its big shapes. And then afterwards you can go into the likeness in its smaller shapes, like the fat pads and smaller, like, you know, volume changes and the structure of the face. And then afterwards you can go into like pores, for example. Pores, I think, don't really need to be fully like the character because you can't really see them anyway, but they still have a certain structure to them that you can, I guess, copy. Do you think it would be easier on you to give feedback off stream? No, because I don't have time off stream. And I also don't want to do it off stream. I think I kind of want to have like at least like one stream of feedback session, just because I think live feedback is better, because then people could, if they want, give feedback. I mean, ask questions. That's why I want to do it. That's one aspect why I want to do it live. Today is just a little bit scuffed, you know. Okay, but let's look at the two images here. So this is the original, and then we have the likeness. This is not the exact same image, you know. You can see he's smiling, and this one he isn't. But at least you can see the general shape. What it seems like, focus on mainly in this one is the first resolution, you could say. So the proportions of the face, the general shape of the face, and basically what builds a face, or the most basic shapes of what builds a face and what makes a face unique. So no, you don't put a lot on me. You can post as much as you want. I can still decide what I do with it, okay? Okay. So, okay. So let's focus on the basic things. Let's focus on not the basic things in terms of how difficult it is or whatnot, but the first level of likeness sculpting, because that's basically what you've done here. First of all, you can definitely see Pierce Brosnan in the likeness sculpt. Of course, comparing it 1-to-1, it is not perfectly the same, but at least you can see him in the image. That is the first person that I thought of when I looked at the sculpt. So that is good. Now let's go into what you can improve in the first level. First of all, I think what you can do, hold on, let me just actually paint in here. Can we use a grease pencil in here? Oh, we can. Perfect. Okay. But how do we create layers here? What is that? Oh my god. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't. Okay. So, first of all, I think your face compared to the original has quite sharp edges in some areas. I think you can smooth out some of these edges. Some edges are important to keep the structure of the face. Let's talk about which shapes you can kind of smooth out, or which shapes you can keep like with a sharp edge. Maybe there are even some that you can, I guess, strengthen even more. So first of all, let's go into the face again. What I like is this right here. You can see the nice strong and sharp edges here where the eye is. You can see you have the eye hole here, and you can also see you have the eye hole here, and you have these nice lines right there, or these nice sharp edges. So that's one thing you can keep. But then what usually happens is, because there's this fat pad that connects to the bridge of the nose, there's a smoothing going on roughly a little bit underneath or between the tip of the nose and the ending of the nose, I guess up here, where it transitions to the forehead, where you have this fat connecting to the nose bridge. Usually what happens there, for him it's quite defined still, but usually what happens is your nose contour, I guess, gets a little bit smoother. For yours, you can see both sides. It could be the lighting, it could also be the geometry. But usually geometry only really, I guess, highlights the structure of the geometry. Lights highlight the structure of the geometry. So this one might be better if we smooth it just a little bit right here, for example, right there, and then on the other side as well. Other than that, let's look at the lips. I think the lips in general, you can see here what I like to call the edge of the lip, the outer edge of the lip, you can see that it is shaped like this. The problem is the lips aren't really two different materials or whatever, I guess. They're not really different. They're still skin, but I think like one is a little bit thinner so that you can see more red. There's still, as you've sculpted here, a slight edge, but this edge isn't really because of the difference between the two, I guess, types of skin, but it's more because of the structure that is underneath. You can see you have a muscle that goes to the side like this, that is attached right here. That's why you have for the lower lip two balls or two kind of like ovals right here that kind of create the structure of the lower lip. And for the upper lip, you have first of all the muscles coming from up here to the lip, which create these two. And then in the middle, I think, as far as I've seen, you have the muscle that is like around the mouth. I think it's kind of attached here and down here, I think, as well, which means that you have like kind of this sort of bulking up in the middle, which is why the structure looks like this up here. And if we now look at the original, you can see how smooth the transition from the lip to the rest of the, like from the sort of pinkish red lip or skin, the transition from that to the normal skin kind of is. You see how smooth it is? There are no real sharp edges. I mean, you don't really need to really pay attention to that necessarily in the first level. I just wanted to mention it because, yeah. What you could do is here, you can smooth it a little bit, especially here. Here it'll be way, way smoother. Pieces that you can keep quite sharp are the middle pieces here at the top and at the bottom, just because at the bottom you oftentimes have a deeper piece right here, right between these muscles. This part is usually a little bit deeper, as you can probably also see in your side view. You can see right here. That's why right there's a sort of sharper edge. But then the more it goes into the corner of the mouth, the more it smooths out. First of all, yeah, basically because it goes into the mouth, which means the transition from here to here is just a little bit smoother, and also because there's a muscle underneath, which kind of makes this kind of, yeah, smoother as well. The same happens for the upper lip as well. But I think if you want, you can still keep it quite defined, just because then you can observe the general shapes a little bit better. What you can add though is maybe a little bit of structure in the lips. The lips are quite flat, as you can see right here. So what you can do is you can at least add the general structure of the lips right here. Hold on, this looks horrible. There you go. And then one in the middle. And then you have for the lower lip these two. That's one thing I would probably add to just give the lips a little bit more structure. You can see it right here. The upper lip especially, the lower lip as well, but let's talk about the upper lip. The upper lip structure, of course, it could be different for him, but in general, the structure of the upper lip is generally like this. You have a curve that goes forward, and then you have a curve that has the exact opposite sort of angle, which then goes down again. And you can see this very, very clear line right here. You have this one right there, and then this like this, the other curve. What you usually have if your lips to look too thin is you have this, so that it's flat. Adding this curve to it makes it look way more natural and way more, yeah, voluminous, voluptuous, whatever you want to call it. For the lower lip, you have something similar. This one is a little bit softer though, and the curve at the bottom is a little bit stronger. You would have something like this. There you go. For the upper lip, you have something like this. There you go. That's what the lips usually look like. Okay. The nose, let's look at the nose. Usually the nostrils don't go that high. Let's see if he has big nostrils. Nope. Okay. I think that's one thing you can sort of adjust. The nostrils are a little bit too high. I think if you keep them quite low, like over here, That's probably enough. Usually for the nostril, where the shape is coming from is from, not really because the nostril goes so high, or like where do these holes come from, or where do these dark spots come from? This shape, where does it come from? This is not really showing, or you can't really see that the nostrils go that high. What actually happens is that the tip of the nose has a more round shape, which means that the holes just kind of get pushed out further. If you wouldn't have the tip, you would have something more like this. Hold on. Like this. Which means you would, it wouldn't look as high. It wouldn't look like pulled up that high. Usually the nostril shape would be something like, it would be quite straight. Looking at it from the side, it would probably be something more like this. Or sometimes people also have a nostril that is a little bit higher in the top, at the top, or here in the front, and then it goes down again like this. There are different shapes for it, maybe even in the middle, but in general, it's not that high. That's for sure. Also, usually, well, no, I think that can stay. Yeah. Okay. The hair looks pretty good. I like that you've basically just added the main flow to it, you know, like this. I also like the separation into two models, just because then you can see the hairline a little bit better. You can focus on the individual parts a little bit better. This is maybe a little bit too strong of a chasm of hair. I think if you kind of just clean up the hair structure a little bit, stuff like removing these sharp edges here, for example. So yeah, I think in general, hair is quite soft, especially when you look at the big shapes, like this, for example, and then this side. It is quite soft. You don't really have hair that just kind of does a 90-degree, like has a 90-degree angle. It is more so that they, it might seem that way just because of the flow that it has. It's not like the individual hairs go that way. So what you could do here is maybe just kind of create a sort of sharper crease here and just do it like this, rather than this. Okay. I also said before that we can focus a little bit on what you can make softer. One thing that you can make quite soft is, at least in this one, is the side of, or sort of this line that goes back to the back of the head. Basically where you have the eye hole here, and then you have the hole on the side that we also talked about in the anatomy stream. You have the cheekbone right here, you have the hole right there, and then it kind of transitions to the back of the head in this sort of fashion, like this. This line can be quite strong. Usually though, it is quite soft. For him, if we look at it, you can see how we have quite a clear line coming from the front. At the side, we don't really have that much light, which would mean that the sides would be quite dark. It is not really super dark on the sides. You can see there's a little bit more darkness here, but you can see his sort of, I guess, forehead edges are quite smooth. That's one thing you can maybe smooth out. Also, let's see it. Let's look at the, I think what you can also add is a little bit more structure to the fat pads. First of all, maybe increasing the overall, giving it some more depth by maybe focusing a little bit on the fat pads. For example, I like this line. This line is pretty good. I think down here you can do some more. Maybe just detail it out some more. You know, adding kind of detailing this out. You also usually have a sort of few more over here. You also, of course, have the fat pad that's right there. Can we see it on him? Well, he's smiling there, but when you're smiling, you don't really see it that well. But yeah, Fat pads, though, I would say are more secondary. Well, you could say they're primary, but only the main big fat pads, maybe. Let's look at the eyes. Of course, we're talking about the first level of likeness sculpting, so we're focusing more on proportions and yeah, more in proportions than anything else. Proportions and shape, basically. So let's look at the eye eye distance. Okay, so usually for a person, if you look at the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner of the eye, the distance from there to there is what you have in the middle between the eyes. Your eyes might look further apart when this is bigger, when the distance is bigger, and they may look smaller when the distance is smaller. Also, if you go from the nostril up to the, like, just vertically up, you would meet, or you usually meet the inner corner of the eye. So let's see what it is like for yours. That's the end of the nostril going up. It might be a little bit, just a little bit too far apart. Going up from here, this one works quite well. I think the other side maybe can be a little bit more in the middle. It could also be that you haven't rendered it from perfectly in the in front, like so that the camera is slightly on an angle, so that this one, the left side, is just a little bit closer to the nose. But you know, I think you can kind of just push the eyes a little bit more in the middle. What I like though is that you have this very, very clear distinction between the eyelid and the fat pad above the eye. That's one thing I like a lot. I don't think you need to widen the eyes. Usually, eyes are quite small. Looking at the, or at least, you know, yeah, see how small his eyes are? I don't think you need to make the eyes smaller. Maybe you can even make them, smaller. You don't need to make them bigger. I think you can make them smaller. Let's look at it again. Wait, do we have a measuring tape here? I don't think so. Well, we only have it in 3D space. Welcome, welcome, Zachary. We have two that you've submitted. You know, I did forget this one. I remembered it, so we're gonna look at this one first. So yeah, let's talk about the main takeaway from this. First of all, focusing on the main structure, which you've done. You captured this likeness. One thing you can improve is maybe looking at some edges that you can smooth out, like this one, or maybe adding some smoothness to the middle of the nose bridge, you could say. Also the lips, and maybe focusing a little bit more on the fan pads to kind of give the face overall some more structure. You can see how smooth it is over here, maybe even over here. And then looking at this one, you can see there's one level right here. Then you have another level right here. Maybe you even have another level right here. So there's just so much structure in the face just by even just looking at the fat pads. And you would even have one more layer, which would be right here. So there's so much that can add structure to the face. And fat pads is only one of them that you can still focus on. And then of course you can see smoother over there. Oh, you can also maybe see the hair. First, oh yeah, especially for these hairstyles. If you have a clear line between one side and the other, that would probably look like this. Of course, this is maybe a different reference, but one thing you can do to really enhance a hairstyle is to create intersecting hairs so that they kind of go, there's not a clear line to the back of the head, or to at least to the sort of like, what do you call it? Like a root, the main root of the hair flow, but it's more of a intersection or like a zigzag, so that some hairs go in this direction, some hairs go in this direction, just to kind of, you know, make it more make it just appear more random. So maybe, you know, detailing the hair a little bit more. But yeah, you've nailed, you accomplished likeness, and that is probably what you went for. So good job on that. There are a few things that you can focus on, but in general, looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one is, who posted it? Hold on, I need to go through it in order. Let's just quickly scroll down for a month. There it is. Oh, another one from Zach. Let me open up that one. This one will be harder for me to critique. Just because I've never done hard surface sculpting. So I think, so in general, I've never done hard surface sculpting. I roughly know how it works. I've just never done it myself. So I can't really go into that much technical stuff. What I can look at though is the geometry. What I mean is, looking at hard surface modeling is probably more prone to bad geometry than organic sculpting or organic modeling. Just because hard surface modeling usually relies on very, very smooth surfaces, even when they're, for example, quite organic. They're very smooth. They don't really have like these, you know, one edge right there, and then you have another one right there. So you have a clear edge right in the middle between them. You also have these smooth surfaces that just go into each other and create this very, very, I guess, you know, unanimous. That sounds weird. Like this, it looks like you still change the direction, but it's very, very smooth with very few edges. So what you have to look out for in those is good topology. Stuff like here, do you have good topology over here, for example? It looks good. It's not like super, super high resolution, but you can still see the structure. Let's see. I like that you even added these small blocks down there so that it looks more realistic, that is like placed on the ground. I like that. Okay, let's see. So I don't know if that's just the render, but it seems like there is it could be the geometry that creates this sort of dent in here. You can see here, like just the slide kind of bending around the corner. You can see here it's way, way, way thinner, and over here it's sort of like a small dent. That could be something, or what just happens is that the sort of, hold on, let me see the original. No, okay, you can see it right here. You can see how the line stays the same thickness. That doesn't really happen here. You can see how that it at least gets wider here. It looks like it gets thinner again. So this could be one spot where you could look at, that you could maybe fix. Another thing that kind of looks interesting is, okay, no, that's actually pretty good. You can see here how this sharp edge right there transitions into a smooth surface and then just continues over here. Yeah, mostly yeah, I mean, you know, like the sculpting is mostly proportions and shapes. So you nailed that. So you know, now it's more about the secondary structure, I guess. Okay. Yeah, so we can see here, I was kind of wondering, oh, well, does it really go into a smooth surface here? It does. It might be quite a sharp transition though. It seems like you have a bump right here, and then you also have a bump right here. You can see how bright it is over here, and then it gets kind of darker on this spot. It might be that there's a small dent in here, over here. Maybe. It's hard to see, but maybe. I'm just gonna mark those. Maybe you can make a screenshot or whatever, if you want. Okay. Let's see, do we see more over here? Everything else seems to be quite good. First of all, good job. I like it. Of course, did you work on this some more, or was it more like an old project that you I guess abandoned, or maybe that was your end goal? Just kind of testing out hard surface modeling. Let's see, do we have more here? The front looks pretty good. I don't really have anything to say for the front. I think especially when it comes to hard surface modeling, the best way to look at a model would of course be to do, to be able to just look at it from every angle, so you can see how the light reflects off of the surface, so you can actually see where you maybe have problematic n-gons, like vertices that are connected to more than 4 edges. But yeah, this is the only thing that I can really see here. First of all, there might be an indent here, and then there might be a small, like, indent here. Or it's just wider, you know? Other than that, it looks pretty good. I don't really have that much to say about this. First of all, because I don't have the expertise necessarily. And second of all, because I don't really see more. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not an expert, but I tried. Maybe there's something you can improve. Or maybe you can you know, improve these two things. Maybe they're not even problems. It just looks kind of funky. Okay. So that's the second submission. Hope that was helpful in any way. Let's get to the next one, which is, who was the next one? Oh, Lego Robot with his suit. Let's look at the suit. So the suit, the space suit that he made, I even animated it. Certain edges need beveling. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's look at the first submission from Lego Robot. Lego Robot submitted 2 pieces. This is the first one. Wait, is that an animation? Oh, MP4, okay. Wait, can we play it in here? Oh, wait, how did that work? Hold on, let's try again. How do I... Wait. Ah. No. Well, that doesn't work. Well, we can probably go to Photoshop, then it should work. Hold on. Okay. Where can I place this? There you go. Okay. So this is the video showcase of his model. Let's look at it first. With some nice, neat animations. He said those are textures that have, or animated textures with a smoke simulation on them. That's how he made the smoke. And you can also see he actually has a model underneath the helmet. He can open his helmet. So he even rigged, of course he rigged his armor or his suit, just because you can also see an animated version of it right there. I'm not going to focus on the composition in here. I don't think that is really necessary. This is more to showcase the model. So we're going to look at the model more. Let's see. First of all, I like the detail. You can see right here. In general, the suit looks very ergonomic, you could say. What I mean is, when you have a suit on, of course, well, the suits that you have today don't really reflect that. But looking at more, I guess, futuristic movies or games, you can see that the suits are very, very minimal. You can see they have like a lot of flexibility, and they can still run around in space without dying of no air. So I like this design. I like sleek clothing, sleek armor. So yeah, in general, it looks pretty good. I like the structure on it. If you look at the render here, you can also see you added some textures, which looks good. You know, adding some textures just to kind of give it the just a little bit more detail, can really help make a surface look more natural. So of course, that is something that is hard to do, especially for animations, but I think it can make the suit look even more real. And that is basically first of all, seams, and then what do you call it, like they folds, wrinkles. Let's talk about the seams first. One thing that kind of jumps out to me is, first of all, well, there are these one-piece suits, you know, these suits that you can just, like, you know, wear. I don't know what you call them, like the green screen suit, for example. But what I see, especially in the armpit, maybe even down in the crotch, is It looks like it's a, first of all, it looks like it's one piece because it is. It is also missing, or I think it's a little bit too smooth. What I mean is this right here. Let me see if I can find a good reference for this. What would you call this? Like nylon suit? Suit? There it is. Does that work? Well, yeah, that's actually perfect. Okay, let's look at this. So let's look at a, I guess, like skin tight suit in real life. That is actually the one that I was referring to. Hold on. There you go. So looking at this, that's here you can see what I mean. First of all, you have a very, very clear line at the shoulders. It is, I don't know if you can, so let's think about how you would create one of these suits. You would probably, well, we're talking about the future, so everything is basically possible, but let's stay a little bit more realistic. If we think about this suit, or if we think about this suit, they would probably do a different or a similar procedure that they have done for this suit. Basically using, like, not molding it out of one piece, or basically, you know, not making like a, you know, how you make gold, you create a mold and then you put it in there and then it just gets shaped into that shape. That wouldn't really happen for this. If you want to be flexible in it, you need a very soft material, like I don't know, like some sort of canvas or surface, some sort of what do you call it? Nylon or stuff like that. Some sort of material that you can bend or that you can wear, basically. I think this one is nylon. And this one I think is pretty close to your suit. Your suit might be something more like reinforced, whatever. Reinforced, I don't know, canvas or whatever. But it is still soft and bendable. What that means is that you start off from a roll, similar to how you create, you know, what do you call it? Like you start off with a 2D plane, basically. Then you cut out different pieces of the armor or of the suit, and then you would like sew them together again. I don't think it's possible. No, it's not really possible. You cannot create a suit that has no seams. I have a t-shirt that has no seam, or that should have a seam where I think it should have one, but it doesn't. But it's not possible to create a suit that, for example, would only have a seam only going like over the outside, so that there's no seam in the front, for example. That is not really possible, just because how you would have to sew it together. So what you generally have are these seam lines on the shoulder going to the neck, around the neck. You also have a seam line sometimes around the hands, the wrist, just to kind of separate the hand from the arm. For this one you don't. You also have the seam lines going from here down the leg, maybe even separating the foot if you want to. This one seems like it does that. And then on the other side it goes back up, you can see right here. Then it meets in the crotch, so you have a very, very, like sort of like a pouch, I guess, in the crotch area, because of the seams that kind of converge in there. And then you maybe have some more at the top. But if you would like add some seams to your piece, one thing that I would do is make this sharper. First of all, here, make this just sharper, so that you can kind of add a seam here. What this kind of looks like right now is it looks like rubber. So what rubber would probably do, if you stretch it, it would stretch out. So if you have a rubber that looks like this, what would usually happen if you stretch it out, it would be like this, and it gets kind of smoother in here, and it kind of falls down like this. Zip. What cotton would rather do, it would be more like this. It would stay up here, but it would just get wider. like this. If you lift your arm, for example, it would do this. If you have rubber, what it would do, it would kind of do this, like this. That's what you kind of see here. I think adding a seams here, for example, and just kind of making this crease deeper could make it look more tangible, more realistic, because, you know, somehow you have to create the suit. You could say, well, all these different pieces are different kinds of like material, and everything's been sewn together, which could work. But then you would have to make sure that, especially here for this seam, you have a deeper part right here. Like just kind of, you know, push it in a little bit. I think what happened here, or what could be the reason why that is because of weight painting. That could be the reason why it's kind of, you know, bulging out, maybe. But yeah, maybe that's one thing you could do. Or at least keep in mind maybe for the next one. Of course, this one seems to be finished, so, you know, you probably wouldn't change this one. But there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about, which is usually here on the limbs, limbs, where it goes from upper to lower, right here for the elbow and for the knee. Generally for that, you have staying like folds. If we look at this one right here, and maybe even for the shoulders, there are just some areas, if you wear, or just because of how it's sewn together, there are some areas that have folds. One of them being in the shoulder, and then also in the at the elbow, or at least at in the inner part of the elbow, right here, like right there. That's usually where you have constant creases, just because, not only because if you move, you kind of, you know, because of doing this, you crunch the material together, which kind of leads it to stay that way. It creates these constant folds, similar to, or wrinkles, similar to if you wear a t-shirt for quite a while, you have these constant wrinkles that you can see, and then you have to iron it to, you know, remove all those. So adding just these small creases, maybe, hold on, not there, to your elbows, or to your inner part of the elbow, I don't know what you call that, could help make it look more real. And maybe even doing that for the legs as well. It seems like for the legs that's not really the case that often, probably just because you don't really bend your legs that much in a like such a high degree compared to your arms. I want to look at something real quick, which is the Mass Effect Andromeda suits. Your suit reminds me of theirs, not the one that they wear outside, but the one that they wear inside, on the inside, or when they're in the ship. Let's see, is this one. It's still a little bit different, but it's kind of this, it's similar. So you can see here, first of all, you can see how clear the inner what is it called? The armpit. You see how deep it is. Maybe even on this arm, you can see how deep it is. It doesn't really bulge out. And then another thing that you can see is they also added some constant folds right here, where the seams meet, right there on the armpit. And it doesn't really seem like they've added those to the arms, probably just because of the structure that they have for the arm material, or for the arm for the armpit, or I don't, whatever that's called. The structure in there seems to be quite hard, so it doesn't really make sense that it's more like a leathery suit. It's not that soft, so there wouldn't be like these small wrinkles. But you can even see this one looks quite soft, just because there are some wrinkles here. And usually with games, you don't really have, or there are ways for wrinkles to change when a character moves. You can see some wrinkles here, down here as well. You see how deep it goes into the legs, in the crotch, right there. You can see even if she stretches her legs, you can see some clear folds here as well. So I think adding those to the suit can make it look just a little bit more, you know, just a little bit more realistic and more tangible, basically. This one, yeah, it looks more rubbery than, I guess, nylon-y. In general, though, I like the design. I like the attachments, and also because they have a use. I like the smoke that you've added. I definitely need to look at animatable textures at some point. I like the rigging. Let me just look at the face. I mean the helmet animation again. Hold on. Yeah. Looks very nice. I like it. Also, I like that what oftentimes the problem with helmets is that you try to make your helmet as small as possible so that the helmet doesn't look like huge. Usually if you have a very skin tight suit, it always looks weird if your helmet has a regular size. Looking at if you would, for example, have like a t-shirt with like normal, or like, I don't know, like normal pants, and then a motorbike helmet on, it looks super weird because your head looks super big, which can be the problem when you create these skin tight suits and then adding a helmet to it. But this one looks pretty good. This one doesn't look too big. You can see the character fits into the helmet, so that's very good. I like it. Yeah, so in general, I like it. And I also like that you've added stuff like, of course, surface imperfections. So that's a good thing. And the only thing that maybe you could change, or maybe you can keep in mind for the next time, is here, for example, maybe, especially here, you could see how they focused when they created the suit, how they focused their seam lines on the structure of the character to highlight different aspects of the character. Here you can see they created this sort of line going into the middle, so they have quite a thin part in the middle, where they then go out again and kind of highlight the waist. You can see how it goes into the middle right here to kind of make the crotch one area, and then the legs, separate the legs from the crotch, basically. You can see how they kind of create the chest area by creating a seam right here around the breasts, basically. So yeah, I think kind of looking at the human form when you create especially these very organic seams can be very helpful and make it look a little bit more natural, I guess. Okay, this one, yeah, I mean, I don't want to, the surface in itself looks pretty good. There's nothing really to say there. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say about this. Good job, as always. Now, of course, I'm more nitpicky with you, because usually, we need to go into the last 5%, 10 to 5%, to make it better. But I guess, that's what you're looking for. Okay, let's get to the next one, which is, hold on, what's the next one? It is from Zero. Let's look at Zero's piece. I put his into, well, he uploaded his character with multiple clothing sets, I guess you could say. No, I actually put it into one folder. Let's look at his submission. His submission is the character that he worked on for quite a while, but he added clothing to it. He also added different hairstyles. What I want to focus on today is the clothing. So the clothing, there you go. Hold on, let's look at the main image for the first one. Well, he uploaded one that focuses more on the face, it seems, but I think I want to focus on the hairstyle for today. I think it looks like he made his head a little bit smaller compared to last time, which is good. Last time we discussed his character. His head seemed to be quite big. Seems like he changed that, so that's good. Nice. Now I think it looks a little bit more natural compared to the last time. Of course, it seems like he sculpted his clothing. The problem with sculpting clothing is that you get into the problem of trying to get it as thin as possible, but also not, yeah, basically you try to sculpt it as thin as possible, which is sort of weird to do because you don't really know where it's super thin, you don't really know where it's super thick, and kind of adjusting the shapes is just kind of annoying. What I usually do is I kind of sort of retopologize the body using a shrink wrap, and then I just extend it outwards and smooth it so that it looks more like clothing, and using a solidify modifier, creates the clothing. That is also something you can see in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow I'm going to show how I made the my last piece, Tyler the Creator, the likeness sculpt. I briefly talk about how I modeled the clothing. Not in that like super going into super like in depth, but you can at least see a little bit of how I created the clothing. But in general, yeah, I think that is the biggest problem when you especially create stuff like a blouse or a like a collar shirt or a t-shirt. Usually with sculpting, you can't really get it as thin as you need to make it look like a shirt. This one looks more like a sweater. It could be that you wanted to make a sweater, but then why is your sweater ending here? Sweaters usually go all the way to the arm. And then the legs, of course, are also quite thick. That could be intended. So I don't want to say, well, it's not supposed to be looked like that, just especially because you have these very thick endings here. So I think that's still how it's supposed to look. What you could do to really enhance the look is add seam lines. We talk about it every time when it comes to clothing, just because seam lines are basically okay, so we can basically bring bones and muscles over to clothing as well. We need bones and muscles to create at least the general shape of the body. Muscles hold the bones together, and bones create the general structure of the body. So what would be bones and what would be muscles? Well, bones, the bones of a piece of clothing would be the individual pieces of fabric, and then the bones would be, the muscles would be the seams in between these pieces. So what you would have here is you would have the general shape of the t-shirt. There would be a seam line right here going over to the middle, same on this side. You would maybe even have a seam going from here. You would have a seam definitely going from here to here, like this. You would also have a seam usually going from here on the side of the body all the way down. There's nothing really in the front. What you could do though is maybe you could create an edge reinforcement, you could say, or maybe some sort of button like edge, just to kind of create a seam right here, just to kind of give it a little bit more structure. It could be that this is only like a concept for clothing. You kind of want to go through a few ideas pretty quickly so that this looks a little bit rougher. But I think it would be most valuable to kind of now give you an idea of what you can do to detail it out some more. I'm not really an expert in fashion and how you can, what looks good, what combinations of clothing. So I think it's better to focus on the structure and kind of how clothing is built. For the trousers, for the pants, you would have the same. You have a seam right on the side here, and then you have the same on the other side, like this, and then you would have the seam going into the middle right here. And there you go. There's nothing really on here somewhere. There's nothing. There's also not really something over here. Sometimes what you have is this line right here where you then have the pocket in the middle, just to kind of open up the pants, so it's easy to remove them, take them off. What you could do is Well, no. Well, these boots are quite high, so it would probably not work. But if you have something more like sneakers, what you could do is you could create, if those are like jogging pants or whatever, you would probably have like a thick end, but then you have this sort of rubbery end that looks like this. And then you would get into, then here's your leg. That's usually how these end. You wouldn't really see them probably if you have like these high boots, but you would probably, that would probably be the best ending for these types of pants. Let me actually see if I can find an example. What is it called? There it is. Okay. See the ending? See how there are these sort of rigidity rubber, and it's not rubber, but it's flexible. These bands that you can see right there. That's how you would end these very baggy pants. So if you ever do, you know, something with more like a sneaker boot, sneaker shoe, you can keep that in mind. But in general, I think if you want to detail the clothing some more, what you can do is you can give them just some more seams, give them some more structure, maybe even some you know, nice pockets there. Yeah, and then maybe even giving them some you know, as we said before, some wrinkles, maybe even some bumps, adding a bump map to give it like this actual fabric look. This looks very, very smooth. It looks more like a leather, I guess, or what is it? This this black smooth surface. I can't remember what it's called. This rubbery material. That's more what it looks like right now. But yeah, you know, stuff like that. Going more into detail, basically. Now that you've created the base clothing by sculpting, maybe it's time to retopologize it and create the actual sculpting. I mean, clothing. Okay, we have more though. We not only have this piece of clothing, we not only have this piece of this outfit, we also have one that is more open, you could say. Can I somehow remove these lines? How do I... Why? Why? Just why? Well, I think we're stuck. Can I just control Z? Nope, I can't. Well, okay. I guess we just have to live with those lines. Why are they even there? Okay. This one, I think, has the same problem that you have with the first one, which is, I think the clothing is a little bit too thick, especially over here. You can see how wide it goes. It looks a little bit like diapers. Just because, first of all, this sort of lingerie is probably not the right word for it. Like these panties are, the shape of them look more like, I guess, diapers in general. And then the thicker they are, the more they look like one. It's not supposed to be a diss, just what it looks like. So I think maybe either using the retopology method to add clothing to it to make it just a little bit thinner could probably make this look way, way better. And then overall, maybe, you know, adding some more structure to it. You can see how thick it is here, how far it goes off of the skin. You can see how close the wristbands are, or the wrist, yeah, the bracelets. You see how close they are to the skin. I think that is usually the thickness that you also want to go for the bra or for any clothing. There's not really, well, if you go for jackets, maybe they can be thicker. But if you especially want to go for stuff like underwear or t-shirts, for example, I would suggest making them thinner. Okay, there's another outfit. Let's look at this one as well. It is this one. We have multiple angles, but I think this one does the job quite well. Hold on, let me see. Do we have a... Oh, this one may be better. There you go. So this one has more detail, which is good. You can also see with this one, it looks way better that it is so thick. Just because this actually makes sort of sense. It makes sense, yeah. You can see how thin it is on the fingers. The fingers have quite... It could maybe be a little bit thinner, but it is thin enough to make it look like like a glove. And then you have this very, very big trench coat like material, or yeah, trench coat that she has on, which makes sense that it's so thick. So this one looks good. I like it. I also like the belt right here. The belt might be a little bit too thick, you know, especially right here. You can see how far it goes off the waist. I see that you've kind of pushed everything together to fit it into the belt. Maybe adding some wrinkles could help. And then, yeah, I mean, wrinkles are probably not really the thing you need to focus on right now. I think what you can focus on more is creating, yeah, first of all, thickness, and then probably the, well, yeah, thickness, and then seams, and maybe then afterwards wrinkles. I think that those are the three most important things. And then afterwards maybe stuff like texture and surface imperfections, or bumps basically. The face, hold on. There you go. We have multiple, oh, hello. We have multiple hairstyles. This one is one of them. Dude, this drawing is so annoying. Can I just not remove it? What? Oh, hold on. No. Dude, it's okay. What? Oh my god. Well, okay. Yep. So I guess the hairstyle is also quite more like a concept hairstyle. What you can improve on it though is in general, you know, talking about the hair structure again. How you can, if you look at hair usually in the most general sense has 3 layers. The big hair strands that follow a main hair flow that creates the volume of the hair. Then you have a second layer that adds smaller structure to the hair strands that breaks up the main flow a little bit. I think that's one thing you can add here. That doesn't really add too much more volume. It still adds a little bit. It is more about kind of breaking up the main structure here. It could be that this one is supposed to be quite a clean haircut. So everything is supposed to go down like this. Then I think it's okay to keep them quite straight. Not really add like these strands that kind of go in all directions. But one thing you can do, especially here, you know, just kind of removing the skin. Usually if you have hairstyles, you can't really see the skin underneath, except maybe right here in the middle where the hair is kind of where there's a clear line, the clear distinction between the two hair flows, one going in this direction and one going in the other. That's where you would see here, but I think this one is a little bit too much. We could maybe, what you can do here to kind of fix that, if you use interpolated hair, just kind of add some more hairs here and create like a nice curve that goes upwards first and then to the side to just kind of add some more volume over here. I think there's some more volume needed over here. Okay, the face, hold on, there was another one. Of course, it's kind of harder to see the face with this much noise, but it's still doable. So let's look at the side view. Okay. I like the, hold on, dude, I hate this. Why are you there? In general, I like it. One thing you could maybe do, hold on. Yeah, generally, of course, this is completely optional. Makeup can be super, super different. Generally though, what you do to kind of highlight the eyes is you only really highlight the upper part of the eye. When you look at makeup, hold on, makeup, Well, hold on. There you go. Okay. What you usually do is you only really focus on the upper eye. That is especially visible for female stylized characters. If what you know, of course, you have also some examples like this where you kind of go around the entire eye, but generally, to what I've at least seen, I'm not an makeup expert, but what you can see here is that the upper eyelid is highlighted way more by this strong black line than the lower eyelid. You have some exceptions, maybe this one. You can still see that there's way more dark at the top than at the bottom. Let's look at Frozen. I'm not quite sure if Elsa, what she has in terms of makeup. Let's see. Yeah. For her, it's similar. You can still see a clear black line at the bottom, but you can see that this upper line is way thicker. I think for yours, for yours it's more, both are quite thick. You could maybe shift the distribution a little bit more to the top part, but of course, making him makeup is, quite, I guess, variable. So it could also just be a style that you went for. So I don't want to, I don't want to critique it or give you feedback on something that is actually intended like that. But if you wanted to, you could push it a little bit higher and maybe highlight the upper part of the eye a little bit more. Hold on, I need to drink something. My voice is dying. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Seam lines, folds, wrinkles, thickness, hair structure, hair volume rather, kind of avoiding this very clear, I guess, bald spot you could say in the middle. And then makeup, focusing more on the upper eyelid than the lower one when it comes to the makeup. Okay, that is Zaro. Let's get to the next one. We have two more. No, we have three more. Do we? No, we have two more. Okay, the next two. First one is a Dark Touch. Dark Touch submitted a series of images, I guess, showing off his development of his character. You can see it right here. He wanted to create, I think his name is RX, I think. He wanted to create this one. I think this one is the in-game model, if I guess so. And this is the first draft, the first sketch, and then he did some more work on it. Hold on, there's the next one with added some hair. He also added some, he added a beard. He also added some hair down here. There's one more piece from Lego Robot. There you go. He then added some hair, and then he finished with some eyebrows. So this is the final image. Let's look at the one that we have right here. Hold on. Which is the one with eyebrows and everything, basically. There you go. Okay. Dude. Hold on, let me just open a new tab so everything is gone. Okay. Wait. Wow, now it works. It didn't work before, okay. Okay, let's talk about your image. First of all, I'm also going to grab the reference, the artwork that you've basically used. Maybe we could even use the in-game model. I think I want to go more with the artwork. So I'm going to download this artwork real quick so we can compare it. There you go. Okay. There you go. Okay. So if you want to recreate a character, Whether it is a real character or a game character or movie character, whatever, you still need to think about what do you need for likeness. What makes a character, how do you achieve a recreation of a character? By capturing his likeness. What do you mean with capturing likeness? Proportion and shapes of the face, or the shapes basically. Proportions when it comes to how long is the nose, how wide is the nose bridge, how far apart are the eyes, how wide, how big are the eyes, how big is the forehead, and everything, stuff like that. And then shape talks more about basically the stuff in between the proportions. So for example, you have the eyes that then are close to the nose, or the space between the eyes and the nose, what is there? You have a fat pad, you have multiple fat pads between there. You also have the fat above the eye. You have the fat right here that we talked about a million times now. And so that's all stuff that you need to look at. I think, there you go. I think it looks pretty good. I think there are still things that you can improve. First of all, you could see let's talk about proportions first. We're going to focus on proportions and we're going to focus on form. We're going to probably grab an older image without hair that we can focus on form more. Let's talk about proportions first. Proportions, I think the first one that is the most obvious one is, or the most apparent one is, first of all, maybe the nose can be even smaller, at least the nose bridge. At least, coming from the bottom here to the forehead. I think the nose can be even smaller. You can see it right here. Yours is already quite small, but I think you can be just a little bit smaller. Next up, the wideness, the width of the nose bridge. Looking at yours, you can see yours is quite close together here. You can also see how big the distance is from the eye corner here, the inner eye corner to the bridge of the nose right here. Comparing that to the original, that is roughly where the ending is, and that's kind of where the inner corner of the eye is. This is super, super close together. For yours, I think it's a little bit further apart. I think the eye size is okay. What you can do though is you can make the nose bridge a little bit wider. And I think one thing that is very apparent is he looks quite angry, with these nice angry eyebrows. Yours looks more, hold on. Yours looks more happy. One thing, or one reason why that is, I think, is because you can probably push these eyebrows. So, okay, this is the original, and yours is like this, a little bit more inviting, a little bit more neutral, It doesn't look like this. It looks more like this. So what you can do is if you look at what happens, the muscles that are right here pull everything from over here, from here basically, more into the middle, which means it bunches up and kind of creates this sort of structure that you can also see in the artwork. You can see very clear lines going into the middle. You have a very, very big bunch up in the middle, and then it goes kind of out like this. What you can do, you can also see a very, very clear crease here in the middle. Comparing it to yours, there's quite a big distance from one to the other eyebrow. Okay, so the distance from one eyebrow to the other one can probably be a little bit decreased, just to kind of give him these mean, or I guess angry looking eyebrows. You can probably also maybe pull them down a little bit more. You can see how deep the crease is right here. You see how deep it goes. I think for yours it's quite smooth right here. So just kind of, you know, pushing the eyebrows a little bit closer together can probably help make it look more angry. We can actually do that in Photoshop real quick. I wanna see if we can do that. Hold on. So if we open the image and just kind of see what happens if we push the eyebrows closer together. Okay, so there you go. Let's go to here. We'll liquefy. Okay, so what would happen if we just, oh, wait, I don't want to draw. Wait, what? Oh, there you go. Okay. So what happens if we just push them together a little bit more? Okay, well, the button, I mean, the pen doesn't really work. Pushing it together a little bit more, you can see maybe even, there you go. Pushing them lower, we can also maybe decrease this size a little bit, just so we can bring them closer to the eye. There you go. Before, I mean after, before, happy little boy, and after, angry little man, basically. Yeah, that's one thing you can do. Kind of just bringing the eyebrows a little bit lower to make him look more angry. What you can also do is probably make the nose a little bit wider, like this. There you go. Let's look at the reference. Maybe even pull the nose a little bit higher. I think also the distance from the bottom of the nose to the lips, for him it's quite small. Usually for males it's a little bit longer than for females. What you can do here probably is just kind of push it up a little bit. Like this. Maybe even make him angry if you wanted to recreate the artwork a little bit more. Hold on. There you go. Maybe even giving him the expression that he had before. What was the expression? Yeah, kind of a like this. There you go. Before, I mean after, before, happy, and then angry. So yeah, that's one thing you could do. First of all, the eyebrows, the nose, I think are the most important parts here. And then smaller things like the distance from the nose, the bottom of the nose to the upper part of the lip. And maybe even the hairline. You can see the hairline is quite small here, especially you can see how close it gets to the eyebrows. And then you have this clear sort of, I guess a circle you could say. It's not really like a circle, but it kind of looks like that from the front. I think what you can do is you can kind of pull the hair a little bit closer to his face. Like this. This one can stay the same. You could maybe even make the forehead a little bit thinner, like this. There you go. Just to kind of keep the structure of the face in mind. You can see it probably in the reference as well. You can see how there's a, especially going from the cheekbone to the forehead, there's like a pyramid going into the middle. It's not ending like a pyramid, but it's like an incline that goes into the middle. You can see it right here, and then here as well. So keeping that in mind for the structure of your head, just kind of keeping in mind that it's kind of going into the middle, like this. There you go. Okay. Yep. The eyes looks okay. Hold on. Yeah. They could be maybe a little bit smaller. Maybe not. I think they look pretty good. But those are the changes that I would, that you could do. You can also see that the nostrils look a little bit different. For him, the nostrils are more like, so let's talk about the structure of the nose. The structure of the nose, we talked about it before. We have the the middle two pieces right here. We have the nostrils that go underneath the middle two pieces right here, the nose tip basically. And then you have two parts of the bridge, the soft tissue bridge and then the bone bridge. The bone bridge would be probably quite small. The bone bridge would be like this. There you go. Then you have the soft tissue. Okay. Then you have the middle two pieces that go like this. There you go. Maybe even like this. Wait. There you go. And then you have the nostrils that go like this. So looking at yours in Photoshop, you can see, hold on, of course I made the middle part a little bit wider. But I think what you can add still is I think what you're missing right now is the nose tip. Let's go to Blender. No, let's do it in here. No, let's do it in Blender. Looking at your structure. Oh, hold on. So now that we have the structure in mind, for yours, it's the bridge like this. That's the bone bridge. Then you have the soft tissue bridge right there. And then we would have the middle piece, the middle two pieces that go like this. There you go. And then the nostrils would go underneath there. But instead you have the nostril kind of going above sort of this here. You can see a crease going like this. It could be visible, or it could be possible, but I think what is missing is just kind of like this nub in the middle. So yeah, it's more, this is more something more detailed, but still something you can keep in mind, the structure of the nose. But comparing it to, or doing all the changes, like proportion changes basically, you get this instead of this. You know, these small changes can really change a lot when it comes to the face. Looking at the structure, I think you can make this part of the head, this part here, a little bit thinner. See? And then just kind of making him angry maybe, and kind of changing some proportions, the forehead, pulling the forehead a little bit, the eyebrows a little bit more into the middle, helps a lot and changes a lot, and also I think brings them closer to the original. There you go. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next one. The next one is from subbing. Oh, you mean subbing? Well, the first step is, I think, affiliate, which would be 3. What was it? An average of 3 viewers, and then afterwards, what is it? Partner would be 75 average viewers, but I wouldn't go for either. So yeah, who cares? You will never be able to sub on Twitch. Okay. Let's talk about the next one. So the next one I think is from Lego Robot again. Okay, so I said we want to talk about the shapes or the forms of the face for the axe model as well, but I think what we talked about kind of covers that as well. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is Lego Robot again. I know, James, you also added your animation kind of to Portal, but I think, I don't know, it looks pretty good. It's quite close to what you already had in, or what you can see in the animation. I think if you change the lightning, I think you're pretty close to the one that you can see in the in the animation. So yeah, in the game, in the video. Let's talk about the next one from Lego Robot. The next one from Lego Robot is another one that we need to go into the details, basically, into the last 5%. There you go. Okay. So, first of all, it looks very good. I like the lighting. You said you made this lighting a little bit darker. I don't really know if you probably need a little bit of lighting just to kind of highlight the structure here up here. But in general, of course, you have nice lighting coming from the sun, probably. You could argue details, exactly, details. You know, that, well, I used to say the more realistic you want to make it, the more you need to look, you need to go into detail. But maybe you could even say the more realistic you want to make it, the more detailed your details need to be. Okay, so let's talk about the details. First of all, I don't think there's anything to say about the modeling. The sheets here look very good. I like the probably simulation. I like that you took into account her basically moving it with the foot. I like that. I also like that she has a weight on the bed. It might be a little bit, of course, the mattress could be quite hard. She could maybe be a little bit lower into the mattress, but maybe not. I think at least that you've like accounted for her weight is good. The pillow looks good. You know, we have a nice wrinkle there. It looks very clean, which fits to the overall image, so that's good. One thing that kind of stuck out to me, which could just be because of denoising or because of, yeah, probably denoising, is the structure of this, or this sort of surface imperfection structure, this roughness texture probably. It looks quite low resolution. I'm gonna resolution shame you here. It's probably not true. It's probably just denoising. It just looks kind of, you know, kind of rough, kind of like, yeah, too low resolution. It's probably just denoising though. So, you know, I don't want to blame you for something that isn't true. One thing that kind of stuck out to me is that this is very clean. One thing you could add is stuff like surface imperfections over here as well. I know it's very, very annoying to do that for every single piece in this thing, like in this scene, like imperfections on the, and it's also very taxing on the wall, on this piece, which is probably a separate model, on the pillow, on this plane here, on this bar, on these grids and everything. It's just annoying. So, you know, I don't blame you for not doing it. Maybe you did it, it's not really visible because of denoising maybe. But I think there's one thing that I see that you haven't done, which can improve your atmosphere in the image by quite a lot, especially when it's a dark image, a dark room, a dark scene with a clear light source, which is particles in the air. Let me see if I can find my old particle simulation, or like how I added particles to one of my projects. It is the second character that I ever created on stream. There you go. It is, let's see, let's use this one. So you can see this is a character that is in water, and it is halfway into the water with her face, and then there are like spores and kind of particles in there. There's light coming from up top here, you can see right there. That kind of highlights these spores a little bit more. You can see some are brighter, some are darker, some are more blurry, some are not as blurry. Some are smaller, some are bigger. This way you can not only create depth in your image, you can also create some more atmosphere. Usually if you look at a light, the more you look, of course it's not like, it could be a clean, a super clean environment, but I think just adding a little bit of, just a little bit more, or at least a few particles in there can help make it just a little bit more realistic. We're talking about the tiniest of tiny details. So if you wanted, you could maybe play around with some particle simulations, adding some some particles in the air. Overall, I like the shot. One thing to keep in mind when you want to make a scene look very realistic or very immersive is to place the camera on head height or a little bit lower, so that it looks like you're actually standing in the scene, which is the case here. So that's one more thing that you've done well. Of course, you've used the character that we talked about before. I like the deformations as well. There's nothing crazy like wrong going on. I like the model. Yeah, the only thing really that kind of stuck out to me was the surface imperfections, which is super nitpicky, and then maybe some particles in the air. One thing that just stuck out to me is, are those two light sources or are those reflections? It seems like the light is supposed to come from behind this wall somewhere, but then you have these bright light sources here, which there are two of. It seems like the light itself, if you look at this, you know, there's a clear sort of shadow here, or like a clear light. I mean, yeah, I can't really just extrapolate from where it's coming. I was just kind of confused that there are two, which would create two sort of shadows, but you know, maybe it's just like a reflection. Okay, yeah, good job. I like it. I also like your spaceship. It looks very good, especially with the laser beam. Okay. Yeah, there's no, you know, very nitpicky, but we're going for the last few percent. Okay, I think there's one more. Let's talk about the last piece. The last piece is from Hustler. He actually uploaded a 3D model. Let's look at the 3D model. Before we do that, let me just sit down real quick. Hold on. There you go. Okay. Let me open his file. I don't know what is in there, so this is going to be a surprise. Let's see. There you go. What is it going to be? Oh, another head. Okay. He attempted another head. Nice, that's nice. You can definitely see improvements to the first one. Wait, did you... Oh, so you... Oh yeah, you used retopology before. I was just kind of confused why there's this topology there. Okay. So let's go over improvements that you can do. I see that you also changed your focal length. Yeah, I can immediately see that. Let me bring it back to 50. I'm more used to 50. Okay. Maybe that confuses you. If that's the case, then just, you know, leave the stream. Okay. Let's begin with sculpting. Okay. So in general, you definitely worked on your, what is it called? The planes of the head. You can see we have very clear cheekbones right here. We have a very clear forehead here. Even, well, okay. That's one thing we can talk about. we can see a very clear structure of the nose. Let's talk about something that you can change for the structure of the nose to just make it a little bit more realistic. First of all, let's look at let's talk about the nose. The nose, as we talked before, has 4 pieces. If we separate your nose right now, we would have probably 3. We have one in the middle right here, and we have the nostril, and then we have the bridge. But what we actually have is we have 2 pieces in the middle right here, going to the side, like this. We have the nostrils, and we have the bridge, which you could separate as well. Voxel, yeah. Yeah, I might probably check that out at some point, voxel retopology, maybe for the next sculpt, if I remember it after the weekend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but you know, even if it's rushed, you can definitely see improvements compared to the first one. Okay, which was like 2 weeks ago, maybe? Okay, so the nose structure. First thing first. The first thing that you can change is you can keep the nose tip in mind. How does the nose tip structured? You have a clear tip right here. You have these 2 pieces that then separate and go to the outside like this. Let me actually enable dynamic topology. Okay. And then they go to the, oh, wait, what? 50. No, still not enough. Wait, you use radius pressure? Oh no. I don't like your radius pressure. Okay. So, yeah, just going in here and pulling those to the side creates a tip that is a little bit more realistic, you could say, like this. Okay, you see these very clear 2 pieces going out, and then the nostril. Hold on. There you go. And then the nostril goes from here into, like, there's like this. The structure of this is kind of like a pocket, like this, and then the nostril kind of goes into the pocket, so it kind of goes in here. So what it would look like would be something like this. So that would be the nose. You could probably also make, usually what happens is that the nose shape, the nose hole shape is, if you draw it on the forehead, it is more like this. It is not really like this, it is more like this. That's the structure of the nose. And then you have the nostrils that kind of go around it, and that's the nose tip right there. That's the nose looking at it from the bottom. So what you can change here is you can just kind of pull this a little bit more into the middle, and then maybe pulling this a little bit more out. You can probably also create more of a triangle rather than a heart shape, like this. Well, it's still a heart shape, but it's less round here at the nostril, like this. There you go. And then smoothing everything to make it look a little bit more natural. There you go. So that the nose holes go more into the middle like this. Perfect. Okay. The ending here sometimes is quite sharp, sometimes it's not. I'm just going to make it sharp because of preference. There you go. Okay. Usually, well, it's not necessarily that way, but if we look at reference, hold on, let me just quickly pull one up. Face, not Facebook. There you go. Can we see a profile view? Profile. Okay, well, no, I was kind of just checking something, which is the angle of the sort of ending here to this part of the mouth. I think the angle looks good. I was kind of kind of interested whether or not it's sort of basically more of a sharp angle right here or not, but it's quite variable. So yeah, it can be like this as well. Okay. Usually what you have is the nostrils are the widest where they connect to the skin. What you have here is more of a it is the widest sort of in the middle. So what you can do is you can kind of just pull it outwards and then push this in, smooth it in a little bit more. It's kind of hard to explain what I mean, but it looks more like this. And then kind of by reinforcing everything, you can kind of make it more into the shape that you want it. So you can either, to achieve that shape that is kind of like this wide, you can either add it right here, which wouldn't be as realistic. What you could rather do is you can also just kind of pull it out where it's connecting to the face, like this. Okay. There you go. Keeping the structure of the nose in mind, you would have a clear line there for the nose bridge. There you go. That's the bony part of the nose bridge right here. And then they kind of connect right there. Look at this. Smoothing everything. Then what you can look at is what is still part of the nose, I would say, is the fat pad. Okay, so we talked about the fat pad multiple times now. Of course, keeping or kind of looking at the structure of the bone structure and muscle structure is probably more important in the beginning. But I'm gonna give you a challenge for the next one, for the next sculpt. Don't be afraid to add a lot of volume for the fat. So what I mean is, for the next, okay, if you only keep one thing in mind, then it's going to be this. For the next nose that you're going to sculpt, create a clear gradient that goes from here over the nose, creates this nice crease here that kind of goes right next to the nose, and then here as well. Just kind of, and ends next to the mouth like this. This sort of banana shape. This is what you, if you want, focus on in your next sculpt. So what you do then is you can go in here. If you see, oh well, these creases are quite deep, or the nose goes quite deep even here in the middle, you grab your clay strip. I'm going to set it to full strength, and then you just add more volume here. Attach it to the middle of the nose, go around the nostril, and then end roughly at the height of the corner of the mouth. You create the banana shape. There you go, and go back into the middle, like this. There you go. Then what you do is you can kind of smooth it. It looks kind of weird by just adding this single, fat pad. What you can do is you can kind of increase it by adding this line here as well, if you want, but that usually makes characters look more old. But that is one thing that I want you to do for the next sculpt. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought, Oh, well, it looks kind of weird, so let's just smooth it out. Well, okay, it looks kind of weird. Let's smooth it. And then it's just lost. Make it as structured. Okay. Well, okay. Then keep two things in mind, or a challenge for the next sculpt. Add this fat right here. And also, don't smooth ever. That is going to be the challenge, okay? Don't smooth ever. And then think about this fat pad, adding this fat pad. Or maybe even the other fat pads that you know, like this one, for example, doing this. And then if you see, oh well, no, it's too much volume, just remove it. Just do this. You know, just kind of remove it a little bit. You maybe have a pen, I don't know. And yeah, I mean, you said your pen broke, so probably, you know, just kind of doing this and, you know, working out the volume. It is okay to just add way more. You can still remove it afterwards. So there's no harm in, you know, adding more. I've done a sculpt before, I think, of a face without smoothing ever. So yeah, that's going to be the next challenge. Don't smooth ever. I think smoothing is kind of your enemy right now. Smoothing can be very valuable, but if you look at how I create the character, what I do is I start by basically going in here. Okay, well, here there's supposed to be a clear sort of edge around the eye. Oh, there you go. Right here, there's supposed to be the forehead sort of edge right here that goes into the middle. I can maybe move it. There you go. It goes to the cheekbone, like right there. Goes back. You have the clear cheekbone here. Kind of detail it out some more. There you go. It looks probably pretty scuffed, but that's okay. We can still adjust it. And then once you have your structure, there you go. You have this clear line going to the back. Sometimes you have to hurt yourself to learn, okay? Okay, well, maybe I can push it closer together. This. Maybe I can even add a clear eyebrow here. There you go. And then once you have the structure, then I use the smoothing. Well, we need some fat down here. Okay, well, perfect. We need some fat here. Maybe remove some over here. And then once we have the rough structure, then we can use the smoothing. We don't use it super strongly. We only want to create clearer transitions, smoother surfaces. We don't want to remove what we've just added. We just want to make it smoother. Sometimes, you know, you kind of want to make the transitions here, but you can still keep the structure that you just added. I think what's happening is you think, oh well, I need this fat pad right here. Let me add this fat pad. Hold on. Wait, what? Why is it going? Oh, it's just, okay, well, okay. Why do you use this? What is that matte cap? You know what I just looked at? I looked at I looked at this and I thought it was going inwards because there are these shadows on the outside. I thought it's going, I thought I was doing this. Maybe it's time for a different matte cap. I can share the one that I've used today if you want. You know, oh, I want to add this fat pad right here, you know, doing like this. Well, here's a fat pad. Well, it looks kind of strong right now, and you know, I want to make the face quite smooth, so why don't you just, you know, do this? Oh, well, it looks kind of weird. Okay, well, let me just do this some more. It looks pretty good now, but then it's completely gone again. And to prevent that, I think, and to just kind of, you know, accept the structure of the face, I think the best thing you can do is to, yeah, do what I've done for over here, for example. You see how structured it is now? Just because I added the structure first, and then I just slightly changed the smoothness by, or I gave it some smoothness by using the smooth brush, but very slightly. What I want you to do is not use the smooth brush at all. This way you can fully commit to these big things like this, and I'll promise you, if you add all of these, if you add all the structure, it'll still look like a human. Not gonna look like a monster. So you know, you can even go a little bit smaller and kind of fill these spaces out some more, like this. Super thin clay strips. I mean, as long as you don't use the smooth brush, you know, like this, and then maybe even, oh, I want to have some eyebrows. I mean, eyelids. I'm not going to prevent you from, you know, forbidden to use the crease brush. You know, doing like this. Perfect. Well, I want to have some more fat up here, so just add some more. There you go. There you go. See, and it still looks quite smooth. It's not perfectly smooth, but that's okay. You know, if you want to, you can do some more here. But that's not the main, the important part. What you are supposed to do is basically just sculpt everything in that is part of the face. You know, and, you know, kind of just thinking about the structure rather than how smooth it's supposed to be. Or how smooth it's going to be in the end. And then, you know, going in here, maybe even doing this. There you go. Oh. Not going to use the smooth brush again. I just want to demonstrate what I mean. There you go. The nose could probably be a little bit thinner here. Push it closer together. Doesn't need to be super thin, but there you go. Perfect. And then, yeah, you just work your way through the entire sculpt until you reach the end. It's gonna look like a probably like some sort of écorché, but that's okay. There you go. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna go through the entire head, but this is just the beginning. So if you do that, I'm excited to see your new sculpt without smoothing ever. I think that can. I think that can help. You can focus more on the. I think it's. You have a certain head in your mind where you try to get to, but I think the head in your mind needs to change. I think the head in your mind looks close to what you had here in the beginning, but I think that's also why your heads looked quite similar all the time, or why you achieved so similar looking heads when you created your sculpts. They look quite similar just because you have a certain head in your mind. I see that in my sculpts as well when I especially go for something more you know, just freestyle creating a character. I have a certain head in my mind, you know, the nose shape, or the the, what do you call it, like the mouth shape, the lips, the volume of lips and all that stuff. You have a certain idea in your mind, and I think what you kind of could work on, which could help, would be the head that you have in your mind. Changing that by committing to strong features. I think, yeah, you're not committing to these strong features and you're smoothing them so much because you think, well, it's not looking like what I have in mind. And what you have in mind might not be the perfect head. So you actually have to commit to those changes to actually make your head look more more realistic. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. There you go. Okay. I'm sure how I'm not sure how, but most of them look the same just by moving stuff and adjusting it bit by bit. They all turn into the same head. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, next time commit. Okay. Well, no. Look at the image that we have in tutorials. Look at this image and try to create that. Try to create that. Try to recreate this face without smoothing, okay? Maybe, of course, you're not trying to get the likeness. You're not trying to get the likeness necessarily, so you don't need to, well, oh, well, the nose looks kind of longer than it's supposed to. Look more at the individual pieces. Look at the, oh, there you go. Look, recreate this. Focus on the structure. You can see the tip of the nose, planes of the head, the nostril, the bridge. Try to recreate these shapes and maybe do it multiple times so that you actually understand how everything works together. It is hard to understand complex objects without I guess dissecting them and putting them together again. You need to know that the fat pad covers the bone, the cheekbone that goes into the nose bridge to be able to sculpt it. So by just doing it multiple times, you can kind of understand it more and more and more. So trying to recreate this and make this your new face in your head. And once you have this face in your head, what do you think would happen if you now go and have this as a model, this sculpt, this plain face sculpt, and then you smooth it? It's still gonna look like it's gonna look more like a female character. It's not gonna be super rigid, and it's gonna look more like a normal character. This is of course highlighting the planes of the face. Now, if you would smooth it, you would have a very good looking head. So, try to recreate this. Really say, okay, I want to have a sharp line around the eye, not only at the bottom, but actually at the top as well. A sharp line for the middle of the forehead and then the sides, these lines going into the middle here, the cheekbone, the fat pad going maybe even around the mouth if you want to, a sharp chin, lips, and all that stuff. So yeah, I would suggest doing that. Yeah, maybe that is the reason why you thought or why you always were stuck. You had this very clear image in your mind, and the thing that has to change is not your approach, not just doing more, but actually changing that image in your mind. Because you will always at some point resort back to that image in mind, because you compare what you already have to what you have in your mind. But if the thing that's in your mind isn't really realistic, then you're always going to end up with an unrealistic head, or with wrong proportions, I would say. So yeah, that's going to be the challenge. No, I have that one open most of the times and I try to recreate it, but it looks weird when I do it, so I correct it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, so that's going to be the plan. I'm excited to see the new one, the new approach. Maybe even just, do a few more if you want to. You don't have to, I'm not commanding you to do it, but if you want to, you can do that. Okay. And that's going to be, I think that's all the submissions that we have for this week. Thank you for submitting. I appreciate it. I hope we had some helpful, I hope you got some value out of this. And yeah. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. We're not going to do a stream tomorrow, of course. The next one will either be on Monday or on Tuesday. I think it's going to be on Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to be back early enough to do a stream. So, hope you enjoy the weekend. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and also your weekend. Maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.